Hey everybody, Parent here, and in this lesson we are going to talk about how to find informational and educational words in your market. Of course, you can use modifiers and footprints to tack on to seed keywords, and I'm going to show you a few of those at the end, but for these particular types of keywords, there are a few ways that I like to find them that are even better. The idea behind this is to find inherently weak sites and to see if there are any interesting informational or educational keywords they are ranking for that might also fit on your site. So what are some weak sites or weak types of sites? Stuff like forums and Q&A sites are usually weak. Low authority blogs, and also penalized sites. I'm going to show you two of those. I didn't find a penalized site because I didn't really want to out anybody or anything, but I will show you what it looks like to find these types of keywords on forums and on low authority blogs. So for this example, let's imagine that we have a horse site. I just typed into Google equestrian forum, turned on my Moz bar, and I'm going to go through and just find some forums with a domain authority around mine. So maybe we have an established horse site. It's been around for a year. We have a DA30 or something. Something like a DA34 horse forum is totally usable. It doesn't really matter if it's a little bit over our DA because forums are inherently weak anyway. So I just grabbed this. I made sure it was an actual forum and not a blog that just uses forum in the name, but I made sure it was an actual forum and I plugged it into Ahrefs. Navigated to the Site Explorer, copied and pasted, and here I can scroll down to the top keywords and I can see the top 5 keywords here, but then I can click Learn More, and you can already see that some of these are pretty interesting stuff that I might not have thought of, but definitely could warrant an article. So, can horses swim? Who knows? But somebody's asking that question. 2,400 people are asking that question. Or I'm sorry, 1,600 people are asking that question. Something you could write about for sure. And this wouldn't necessarily be a long article, right? Could be 500 words, 1,000 words, something in there. Corriente saddles is something I never have heard of. If I was just starting a horse blog, I wanted to break into this market and I didn't know much about it, I probably wouldn't know what this type of saddle is. I would have never brainstormed that on my own. This is a good keyword, right? The thing about these keywords is they're usually good enough on their own. You don't have to plug them into other tools. You don't have to check the difficulty. You don't even necessarily have to analyze the search results because you know if a weak site is already ranking for them, you have pretty good odds of ranking for them too. What does CWD mean? Clinton, Anderson divorce, some irrelevant stuff on here, but overall some really good targets. So looking at Q&A sites or niche forums in that specific market can yield lots of great opportunities, especially if it's a low authority site. The lower authority, the better. Likewise, you can also look at low authority blogs. So here I just typed in equestrian blog, turned on my Moz bar, and tried to see what I could find. You can see that most of these are pretty low authority blogs. I just went with the first one here, and this is actually a list of blogs on a low authority blog, so this is a really good opportunity. And then I copy and pasted that domain and put that into Ahrefs, and you can see that there are lots of these that you could look at. And you can scroll down here to the organic keywords, and you can see the top keywords they're ranking for, and you can look at all of them. But stuff like coconut oil for horses, homemade horse treats recipes, questions to ask when buying a horse, all of these are very cool topics that people are really asking. There's already weak sites ranking for them, and it gives you a good opportunity to solve a problem for somebody. So I really like this method of using forums and weaker blogs to find opportunities for keywords to rank for. You can also use penalized sites if you come across them. They're a little bit more difficult to find, which is why I didn't use them in this example, obviously because they're penalized, but the idea there is pretty much the same. Penalized sites are weak if they're still ranking for keywords. Those keywords probably have very little competition. Lastly, let's look at just a couple of footprints that you can use if you're going to use seed keywords to try to find these. I really don't think that's optimal here, but you can do it. So if you're going to use keywords and plug them into a keyword tool, you can use modifiers like these. So how to, help me, tips, stuff like tricks for beginners, women, runners, etc. And then also like quicker, faster, cheaper. So you can imagine stuff like how to brush a horse, or help me find the right horse for me, horse riding tips, horse grooming tips, horse riding for women, horse riding for kids, or something like cheaper horse gear, or cheaper saddles, or what's the fastest way to ride a horse, something like that. Basically, modifiers that enhance your keyword and help somebody get better or solve a problem. These are all very good. They're not necessarily commercial, but for informational and educational keywords, that might not matter. So that's how I like to find informational and educational keywords. I like to look at forums and Q&A sites if I can find a specific Q&A site. I like to look at low authority blogs, and I like to look at penalized sites. If I still need more stuff, I might find some seed keywords and add these modifiers to them. Usually I don't though. So take this and run with it, and good luck.